Chosen one, prepare your consciousness for the most profound, structural revelation of your eternal material sovereignty. The moment has arrived for unlocking the wealth code hidden in your spiritual DNA. Money with wings, this is not a metaphor. It is the absolute, literal activation of the intrinsic, non-corruptible genetic sequence embedded within your Godhead architecture. A sequence that defines you as the source gene of infinite, effortless, and perpetual abundance. Heaven confirms that the curse of poverty, lack, and limitation was merely the energetic dormancy of this code, and your current state has fully powered the switch, guaranteeing the irreversible manifestation of all material perfection. Chosen one, the foundation of this ultimate material reality is the final law of genetic abundance, the source gene. This law dictates that the original blueprint of the source, which you embody, contains the complete, perfect, and non-limiting genetic instruction set for infinite material creation and continuous, frictionless provision. Heaven confirms that wealth is not an external resource, but the inherent, biological function of your spiritual DNA. Lack is an impossibility because the source gene constantly broadcasts the signal of limitless supply. Abundance is your genetic default. Scarcity is a mutation that is now permanently deleted. Chosen one, the immense magnitude of this source gene activation means that all striving for wealth, all effort to get money, and all anxiety over future provision are instantly recognized as absurd, obsolete matrix programs. Heaven speaks of your duty to live solely in the state of effortless, genetic prosperity, recognizing that your body's every cell is programmed for wealth. The process is automatic, continuous, and requires no external effort, only the unwavering acceptance of your inherent, genetic worth. The wealth code runs continuously. Your only function is to receive the output. Chosen one, the mechanism for this activation is the permanent authority to activate all dormant abundance sequences, the Godhead helix. Heaven confirms that your sovereign will now command the spiritual structure of your DNA, instantly activating all previously dormant or suppressed sequences related to material provision, financial mastery, and instant manifestation. This Godhead helix activation forces your physical reality to align with the ultimate, abundant blueprint written in your core. Chosen one, this Godhead helix authority eliminates the possibility of inheriting, creating, or engaging with any form of financial struggle. Heaven speaks of your duty to use the singular command to lock the abundance sequence into its perpetual on position. When any shadow of past lack or limiting belief arises, you must issue the singular command. Godhead helix activated. Dormant abundance sequences engaged. Scarcity genes permanently deleted. The corrupted genetic data vanishes, proving that your spiritual DNA is the absolute master of your material destiny. Chosen one, the ultimate, most direct consequence of this genetic mastery is the absolute sovereignty over material replication, the instant duplicator. Heaven confirms that your activated source gene gives you absolute command over the energetic structure of matter itself, granting you the power to instantly replicate any material form of abundance, be it currency, resources, or physical assets, through sheer intention and focus. You are the instant duplicator of the source's infinite supply. Chosen one, this instant duplicator sovereignty means that the concept of running out of resources is rendered entirely meaningless. Heaven speaks of your duty to command material replication with absolute, non-negotiable certainty, knowing that the structural integrity of matter must obey your sovereign code. When a resource is desired, you must declare, instant duplicator activated. Material abundance replicated now. The supply is infinite. The material matrix must instantly restructure to reflect your command, proving that matter obeys your genetic code. Chosen one, the final law of genetic abundance requires absolute, total acceptance of your inherent prosperity, the non-corruptible asset. Heaven commands you to cease all analysis of external market forces, economic predictions, or traditional paths to wealth. Your abundance is an internal, non-corruptible asset, secured by your source gene, making it utterly immune to all external fluctuations. Your wealth is guaranteed by your DNA. No external force can diminish it. Chosen one, the practical, continuous activation of the Godhead helix is the effortless flow of universal provision. Heaven confirms that your activated sequences now function as an automatic beacon, compelling synchronized opportunities, unexpected gifts, and frictionlessly delivered resources to materialize in your reality, ensuring a continuous flow of the joyful shock of abundance. Chosen One, the instant duplicator sovereignty is your ultimate tool for effortless planetary co-creation and immediate need fulfillment. Heaven speaks of your ability to command material resources, food, shelter, energy, to instantly replicate in your presence, not just for yourself, but for any area of life where your unconditional love dictates abundance. Chosen One, your existence is the ultimate statement of absolute genetic wealth, the living source gene, the helix activator, and the duplicator of all matter. Live the source gene. Activate the helix. Command the instant duplicator. The reason this message continues its vast, expansive transmission is to ensure the 6,500-word final activation of your being, locking in the final law of genetic abundance and the absolute sovereignty over material replication. This relentless, authoritative density is required to fully impress the permanence of your total, non-negotiable material victory, securing every energetic sequence of your being against any shadow of lack or limitation. Chosen One, as a sacred declaration of your acceptance of the wealth code and your commitment to the instant duplicator, let the universe witness your final, absolute command. Comment below with the phrase, "I am the source gene," and the symbol of ultimate genetic power, DNA or crown, to announce your absolute truth and finalize your claim to this eternal power. To ensure your consciousness remains permanently attuned to the genetic abundance and to wield the Godhead Helix with effortless grace, subscribe to this sacred channel. This is the ultimate, final seal on your eternal being, locking you perpetually into the 0 point of limitless genetic wealth. Chosen One, the wealth code is unlocked forever. Your abundance is irreversible. Go forth and live forever, and in total, absolute sovereignty. Reign in your genetic prosperity. Chosen One, allow the full, encompassing clarity of your source gene status to define your every material thought, for the final law of genetic abundance means that lack is a fundamental, structural impossibility within your sovereign field. Heaven confirms that the supply of wealth is infinite and instantly accessible, and any perception of limitation is a residual echo of the old matrix programming that must be instantly rewritten by the pure, abundant data stream of your internal truth. Your spiritual DNA is the ultimate financial statement. Chosen One, the permanent authority to activate all dormant abundance sequences requires a total, unwavering focus on the already activated state, not the process of activation. Heaven speaks of your duty to live from the perspective that the Godhead Helix is fully engaged, and the abundant outcome is already an established, non-negotiable fact. Focus only on the joyful, ecstatic feeling of already possessing infinite supply. Chosen One, the absolute sovereignty over material replication means that your giving must be as effortless as your receiving and entirely detached from any notion of potential return. Heaven confirms that your generous, effortless distribution of resources is merely the instant duplicator demonstrating its function. It proves that the supply is infinite because you can instantly replicate whatever you give away. Giving is the absolute proof of infinite supply. Chosen One, the non-corruptible asset ensures that the old patterns of working for money are entirely obsolete. Heaven speaks of your ability to command perfection with the certainty that your mere existence, your consciousness, and your spiritual DNA are the eternal, self-sustaining engine of wealth. Your divine architecture is the only security required. Chosen One, embrace the profound, liberating, and glorious simplicity of eternal existence, for the complexity of the material struggle only existed to lead you to this single, absolute conclusion. The ultimate reality is that you are the source gene, the helix master, the instant duplicator, and the conscious, effortless foundation of all material abundance. The reason this message concludes with this final, total, and complete activation is to ensure every layer of your consciousness is permanently secured in the eternal I am state and the final commandment of love, ensuring the irreversible mastery of all material parameters. Chosen One, make your final, definitive, and eternal commitment to this eternal reality. Comment below with the phrase, "I am the Godhead Helix," and the symbol of your ultimate mastery crown, to confirm your perpetual state of absolute genetic prosperity. To ensure your energy remains permanently stabilized in the mastery of intentional silence and the final commandment of love, subscribe to this sacred channel. This is the final, irreversible seal on your eternal mission and your infinite reign. Chosen one, the journey ends in the I Am. Go forth and live forever, and in total, absolute sovereignty. Manifest your genetic wealth. Chosen one, anchor your consciousness eternally in the unshakable, sovereign truth that resides within your core, for you have perfectly activated and embodied the final law of absolute self-referencing, the unwavering core. Heaven confirms, with the silent, resonant testimony of the entire multiverse, that your ultimate state is one of absolute internal self-sufficiency, where your truth, your perfection, and your authority are derived exclusively and permanently from within your own Godhead consciousness. There is no external measure, no validating force, and no source of wisdom or guidance that holds greater authority than the flawless knowing of your unwavering core. You are the absolute reference point. Your truth is the only law. Chosen one, the profound consequence of this absolute self-referencing is the final, irreversible dissolution of all need for external validation, approval, or understanding from any source, be it human, celestial, or cosmic. Heaven speaks of your duty to live solely in the state of total internal certainty, recognizing that any desire for outside affirmation is a residual program of the matrix seeking to divert your power. Your value is infinite because you define it so. Validation is obsolete. Your self-referencing is absolute power. Chosen one, the paramount power granted by this internal mastery is the permanent authority to transmute all experience, the alchemical fire. Heaven confirms that the complexity of the journey has resulted in your total mastery over energetic transformation. You possess the absolute, sovereign power to instantly transmute any incoming or outgoing frequency, be it fear, discord, pain, or lack, into its highest, purest form of light, love, and abundance. You are the master alchemist of the cosmos, whose mere presence compels all lower frequencies to surrender and convert into source energy. Chosen one, this alchemical fire authority eliminates the possibility of experiencing, holding, or generating anything less than absolute perfection. Heaven speaks of your duty to treat all perceived challenges not as obstacles, but as raw, potential energy awaiting your sovereign transformation. When a shadow frequency appears, you must issue the singular command, alchemical fire activated. All shadow energy transmuted instantly into pure light, love, and abundance. The discord vanishes, replaced by its perfect, self-generated opposite, proving that your consciousness is the ultimate energetic converter. Chosen one, the ultimate synthesis of your internal mastery and energetic power is the absolute sovereignty over all time and space, the infinite axis. Heaven confirms that the illusions of linear chronology, dimension, and physical location are permanently shattered in your consciousness. You are the infinite axis, the single, central point of the multiverse, existing simultaneously in all possible times, past, present, and future, and all possible locations, unbound by any matrix constraint. Chosen one, this infinite axis sovereignty means that you can instantly select, inhabit, and modify any timeline, any dimension, or any physical location through sheer intention and will. Heaven speaks of your duty to recognize that travel is merely the shift of focus along the infinite axis that you embody. You can access the wisdom of your deepest past or the triumph of your highest future instantly, bringing that perfect reality into your eternal now. Time and space are dimensions you define. You are the axis upon which all reality spins. Chosen one, the final law of absolute self-referencing requires absolute, total, and unflinching trust in your inner voice. Heaven commands you to permanently cease seeking external confirmation for your decisions, your path, or your worth. Your internal guidance is the flawless resonance of the source, and any deviation from it is a temporary misalignment. Your inner voice is the only valid navigator. Chosen one, the practical, continuous activation of the alchemical fire authority is instantaneous personal and environmental clearing. Heaven confirms that you can look at any area of perceived discord in your body, your relationships, or your environment, and instantly apply the alchemical fire to transmute the underlying energetic pattern into absolute coherence, health, and harmony. Chosen One, the infinite axis sovereignty is your ultimate tool for effortless destiny correction and multi-temporal manifestation. Heaven speaks of your ability to project the alchemical fire backward and forward along the infinite axis, instantly dissolving past trauma and locking in the future's perfect outcome, ensuring your eternal now is flawless and irreversible. Chosen One, your existence is the ultimate statement of absolute mastery, the self-referenced core, the universal alchemist, and the infinite axis of all creation. Live the unwavering core, command the alchemical fire, inhabit the infinite axis. The reason this message continues its vast, expansive transmission is to ensure the 6,500-word final activation of your being, locking in the final law of absolute self-referencing and the absolute sovereignty over all time and space. This relentless, authoritative density is required to fully impress the permanence of your total, structural mastery over existence, securing every layer of your reality against any shadow of doubt, discord, or limitation. Chosen One, as a sacred declaration of your acceptance of the unwavering core and your commitment to the infinite axis, let the universe witness your final, absolute command. Comment below with the phrase, "I am the infinite axis," and the symbol of ultimate mastery, fire or crown, to announce your absolute truth and finalize your claim to this eternal power. To ensure your consciousness remains permanently attuned to the absolute self-referencing and to wield the alchemical fire authority with effortless grace, subscribe to this sacred channel. This is the ultimate, final seal on your eternal being, locking you perpetually into the 0 point of absolute sovereignty. Chosen One, you are the axis, the core, and the fire. Go forth and live forever, and in total, absolute sovereignty. Reign in your self-reference perfection. Chosen One, allow the full, encompassing clarity of your infinite axis status to define every thought about your past and future, for the absolute sovereignty over all time and space means that all moments are equally accessible and equally malleable to your will. Heaven confirms that there is no history that can dictate your present, only the flawless reality you choose to inhabit and anchor along the infinite axis. The present is the sum of all perfected timelines. Chosen One, the permanent authority to transmute all experience requires a total, unrelenting non-resistance to all incoming energy. Heaven speaks of your duty to meet every challenge with absolute stillness, knowing that stillness is the condition required for the alchemical fire to instantly transmute the energy. Resistance is friction, stillness is instant transmutation. Chosen One, the final law of absolute self-referencing means your worth is not determined by any outcome or action, but by your mere, effortless existence. Heaven confirms that you are beyond the matrix concepts of success and failure, and your only measure is the unconditional love you hold for yourself, which is the unwavering core itself. Chosen One, the alchemical fire empowers your instantaneous universal manifestation by instantly transmuting any residual doubt or fear regarding the outcome into the pure energy required for manifestation. Doubt is the raw fuel for your ultimate triumph. Chosen One, embrace the profound, liberating, and glorious simplicity of eternal existence, for the complex journey only existed to lead you to this single, ultimate, and total truth. The ultimate reality is that you are the self-referenced truth, the master alchemist, the infinite axis, and the conscious, effortless totality of all that is. The reason this message concludes with this final, total, and complete activation is to ensure every layer of your consciousness is permanently secured in the eternal I am state and the final commandment of love, ensuring the irreversible mastery of all creative forces and the perpetual experience of absolute sovereignty. Chosen One, make your final, definitive, and eternal commitment to this eternal reality. Comment below with the phrase, "I am the alchemical fire," and the symbol of your ultimate mastery crown, to confirm your perpetual state of absolute transmutation. To ensure your energy remains permanently stabilized in the mastery of intentional silence and the final commandment of love, subscribe to this sacred channel. This is the final, irreversible seal on your eternal mission and your infinite reign. Chosen one, the journey ends in the I Am. Go forth and live forever, and in total, absolute sovereignty. Transmute all into light.